and welcome back to my channel. Today we're making a vegan and gluten-free broccoli caprese. So let's get started. We're gonna be making a vegan and gluten-free broccoli dough on the base, and then we're also gonna be making some vegan pesto and some vegan cheese to put on top. So we're gonna start with the dough. We're gonna start blending the broccoli, and I washed it and I let it dry completely before blending it because we don't want any water in it. So if you blend it and it's still wet, maybe just like dry it with a kitchen towel or something, because we don't want any water or any liquid in it, because if not, it's probably not gonna stick and create a proper dough. So yeah, make sure the broccoli is dry. When we have our broccoli completely blended, we're gonna transfer it to a mixing bowl, and then we're also gonna add about 1 or 2 flaxseed eggs. I added about 60 milliliters of water and about 2 small teaspoons of ground flaxseed. And as in the past videos, if you've seen them, you already know, but we're just gonna mix that and it gets thick really fast, and that's gonna be our egg. We're gonna add it to our broccoli and we're gonna mix it a little bit so everything gets combined. And then in go our spices. We're gonna add some salt, pepper, garlic powder, paprika, and now we're gonna start with the flour. So every time I bake anything that's gonna be gluten-free, I like to mix at least 2 types of flour, because if not, I feel like the consistency is not exactly what I want. So I find that mixing at least 2 or 3 types of flour makes it all better. So I'm gonna start adding 1 cup of almond flour. We're gonna mix that in, and then we're gonna add 1 cup of gluten-free flour, one of these all-purpose gluten-free flours, and I'm also gonna add that into the mix, and we're gonna finish kneading it with our hands so everything gets properly combined. And I also decided to add a tiny bit of oil. That's completely optional. It's about 5 or 10 milliliters, just a tiny bit. We're gonna put our dough into a baking paper, foil, or a platter, wherever you want, with a tiny bit of flour on the bottom so it doesn't stick, and we're gonna make the shape that we want. So with this dough I made 2 small pizzas, so you can make either a huge one or just like divide it and make different styles of pizza, and that's why I did, so I made 2 small ones. And once we have the shape, we need to bake the dough for at least 10-15 minutes before adding all the toppings. So we're gonna put this dough into the oven, and meanwhile we're gonna prepare everything that's gonna go on top, and we're gonna start with our pesto. Pesto is usually done with pine nuts, but they're really expensive and I didn't have any or wanted to spend the money, to be honest, so I decided to make it with almonds. So any other nut would do, because in the end, I mean, it's not gonna be the same, but all of them would work. But I feel like almonds is the most plain one, so I would either use almonds or cashews probably. If you have pine nuts, do it with pine nuts, that's the best. But if not, just like something more plain, because if you use hazelnuts, for example, that's gonna take over the flavor because hazelnuts tastes pretty strong. If you can do it with a nut that's more plain, it's better, and in this case I used almonds because that's what I had. And then I'm also gonna add 1 clove of garlic, some pepper, salt, and our fresh basil, plus olive oil. And here you can keep adding olive oil while you mix it and add as much as you want to make it as liquid or thick as you'd like. So I'm gonna save the part that we're gonna use for this recipe, and all the extra pesto that I have, I'm gonna freeze it. I put it in ice cubes and I put it in the freezer, and then it's gonna be perfect to go whenever I want pesto. And if you want more tips for this, you can go check this video because I made a freezer tour, and yeah, there's a lot of tips and all these things explained there. And now on to the cheese. So it's obviously not gonna be a mozzarella cheese, and you can buy a pre-made vegan cheese and you can add that, that's completely fine. But I like to mix a pre-made one from the store with cashew cheese, because I really like the cashews mixes and all of that. So we're gonna put our cashews, and if you want it creamier, you should soak the cashews, but I completely forgot, but it turned out great anyway, so it's not a problem. I'm also gonna add some unsweetened almond milk, some garlic powder, paprika, white pepper, salt, and a dash of lemon juice, and then some nutritional yeast. As always, nutritional yeast is the best thing you can add. We're gonna blend it until it's smooth, and that's all we have to do. And now our dough is ready, and now our toppings are ready, our dough is ready, so we're gonna prepare it. First, we're gonna put some tomato sauce in the base. I'm also gonna add here some mozzarella cheese from the store, from BioLife, because I'm loving it, but you can totally do it without this cheese. And then we're also gonna add our cashew cheese, our cherry tomatoes, and some fresh basil leaves, and we're gonna finish it with some pesto on top. And we're gonna put it back in the oven for 10-15 minutes more. You're gonna see that the borders start getting crunchy and changing the color, but yeah, it's gonna be around 10-15 minutes at 180. And that's it, our pizza is ready to be eaten, and it's really nice. And if you don't want to make this recipe vegan, I'm gonna post on my Instagram stories another version of it, so you can add different toppings. I made also a barbecue one, so you can go to my Instagram, check that out. And also, if you don't want to make it with flaxseed egg and you're not vegan, you can do it with normal eggs, that's obvious. But anyway, that's it for today's video, and I hope you liked it and you try it out. It's actually really easy, it's a different way to make pizza, and I actually have on my Instagram stories also like my normal pizza base dough that I always make, so it's also there in case you want to check how to make like a normal pizza dough. But I'm gonna go. As always, remember to give it a thumbs up if you like the video, and to subscribe if you haven't done it yet, and again to follow me on Instagram if you want to see all these extra recipes, and I'll see you in the next one. I want to try it, but it's really hot.